First of all, I would like to thanks to Tata Tiscon for providing me this opportunity to conduct this webinar. Now, I think this webinar will be in English, and definitely I will try to touch all the subjects of waterproofing in this webinar, and definitely I will conclude it within 55 minutes, so that we can we can discuss more on the question and answers. And if there will be any doubts regarding on the waterproofing part, definitely I will try to address all the things. But I request to all participants that they should not wait to put their answers in the question and answer page to clarify their queries. Whenever the session is going on, they can put their answers, and in between I will try to clarify the probable answers, probable questions, where basically all the audiences asks many questions. And definitely at the end of this session we will discuss all the areas where I have not touched, definitely. So let's go ahead on this particular topic. Now, if entering into the subject of waterproofing, it is very important for us to understand what is the aim of waterproofing. Okay, so if we would like to understand the aim of waterproofing, then the major thing we all know that waterproofing defines that to keep the outside water out and to keep the outside water in. Okay, so if there will be there will be no disturbances between the outside water and the inside water, if inside water will not enter into the outside, and if the outside water will not enter into the inside part, then definitely our structure, we can say, it is waterproof, right? So why do we need waterproofing? Normally, during my 20 years of experiences, I found that the 90% of water leakages, they occurs because of the 10% problem of the building. So, because of this, waterproofing became a very vital subject, because nowadays, still I will let me confess one thing in front of you all, that nowadays also people are not 100% aware about the waterproofing. For them, waterproofing is the additional costing, additional wastage of the money for the building structures. They can able to spend lakhs of rupees on the flooring, on the tiles, on the interior part, but they could not able to spend even if 1% to 2% of the budget of their total budgeting part of the building structure. But if we will sacrifice this 1% or 2% of the budget, then definitely they can make a very durability structures. Okay, so we have to take care of this 10% area only. If we can consider this 10% area by just the investment of 1%, definitely we can make our structure more durable. Now, why? Let's understand this: the how this waterproofing impacts, how this water droplets impact. This There is a study we have done since last different sources, that if you suppose there will be a water particle having the weight of 0.05 gram of mass, and if
Sir,
that kind of water, hello,
sir, sir, there is just some a few participants are not able to hear your voice. Although,
am I audible properly? Am I audible properly?
could you increase the volume? I don't know. I'm able to hear quite well.
From my side, it is completely well. I'm in a full volume. I'm talking in a very large way, so there is no disturbance in my side. I think there will be some network connection from the participant side, so maybe that is the probable reason. If somebody is facing any audio problem, I request them they should check their internet from their side. You can give a check that the majority is able to hear me or not.
Yes, sir. You may proceed ahead.
Okay, fine, fine. Well, what I was talking, that if we will consider a water droplet of having 0.05 gram mass, and if that weight of the droplet if it will be contacted with the wind speed of 10 kilometer per hour speed, then the impact pressure of that water droplets to the concrete is around 140 centimeter head of water. I mean to say, if we will put a water a height of 140 centimeter height, then definitely the pressure what it will create, that kind of pressure this 0.05 gram mass of water droplet will provide. Now you can see from this chart, if the increasing of the wind pressure is increasing the increasing the intensity pressure of that droplets also. So you can imagine, if it will subject, if it will mixed with the high speed high wind pressure, how how a concrete structure is going to be affected, right? In the same manner, this is the speed of the wind. Now in the same manner, the direction of the wind also plays a very important role for the water penetration, and the water penetration to the concrete structures from through its porosity. The if the angle, if now you can consider the direction of air pressure is in this angle. If this angle is less than 90-degree, then definitely it provides the maximum pressure. There is the maximum chances the water will be easily penetrate into your structure. But whereas if the angle is more than 90-degree, then the penetration of the water droplet will be lesser. So that's why you don't know that what will be the speed and what will be the air angle. This is not in our hand, but in what is in our hand, in our hand is to make this concrete structure completely waterproof. Okay. So what are the steps basically we can include to make our structure completely waterproof? First is to understanding the water source of increase. During the investigation of the structure, our first objective should be to identify the source, then designing the system to prevent leakages. Our designing system should be a completely enveloped system. It should be a combination of more or two systems. A single system waterproofing will not give you the 100% satisfaction. So it is very important for all of us to designing a system to a foolproof envelope kind of category. We will discuss in all these things in detail now in our further slides. Now the third steps which we should ensure for a watertight structure, that is the finalizing the design by properly detailing each individual envelope component into the adjacent component. It means to the detailing of, suppose we are going for 2 to 3 different systems, then it is very important for all of us to do the proper termination of each and individual systems. If we are doing any kind of liquid applied membrane waterproofing, then and another type of waterproofing, we are supposed doing any membrane waterproofing, then the termination between the membrane waterproofing and the liquid applied membrane waterproofing should be perfect. Otherwise that area, that 10% area will become a high water entering point, and definitely it will leads to the high water leakages and all this. Now, before entering into the subject, before entering into the technicality, let's understand some sign conversions of the waterproofing systems. Here you can see two examples. First example, here we are talking about a water tank. Now you know that in a kind any water tank, water stored inside the tank. So in this case, the water always try to come out. This is the inside water and this is the outside of the tank. This is the outside of the tank and this is the inside of the tank. Now this inside water always try to come out from this structure, and definitely if there will be any water leakages happen, you can face all the water leakages through the outside of the tank, right? So in this case of a structure, we can say the area where water enters is called the positive. So this is the positive side, and the area where the water comes out is always called the negative side. Now if we will talk an example of a basement, underground basement or any kind of underground structures, nowadays lots of underground structures are also coming up. Even if you are talking about high rise buildings, they are two level, three level basements are also been constructed to avoid the parking problems and all these things. So in these conditions, always the groundwater table try to entering into the basement area. So here in these conditions, this area is the positive side and this area will be treated as the negative side. So what is the objective behind to show all these things? The objective is where the water enters into the structure is called the positive side, and where the a structure is affected is the negative side. Now, if we are going to design a foolproof waterproofing systems, always we should take the priority to do the waterproofing in the positive side always. Positive side waterproofing always give you with a 100% result, and the negative waterproofing will not give you the 100% result. So whenever our system will be designed, we should design our system for positive waterproofing only. Now, what are the mechanism behind that? Now, if we will talk about the mechanism, then definitely as per BS specifications, there are two kind of entire waterproofing system. What we are talking in the world are based upon two principles. One principle is called the pore blocking mechanism, and second principle is called the surface sealing mechanism. We will discuss in detail what is pore blocking mechanism and what is surface sealing mechanism. Okay. Uh, Here I have mentioned one word for type B and for type A. What is for type B and what is for type A, we will discuss in the further slides. Now, if we will define our structure as per BS 8102, definitely in 8102 there are three types of structure. Waterproofing structure has been defined as per the waterproofing proposition. Based upon the waterproofing systems, we can define our structure into three categories. One is type A, where in type A we call it is as a barrier protection. You can imagine this is a structure, and here in this in the for to prevent this structure we provided a barrier. You can imagine this one is the barrier, so that we create a barrier into the system so that water will not enter. So we water will not enter inside the structure, so that our structure will become waterproof. This red line is the barrier we are using. This is the cutout section of a foundation of a building, and we can create a barrier for this. This is type A kind of waterproofing. Okay. Now, if we are talking about the type B kind of waterproofing, type B kind of waterproofing is basically called the integral waterproofing terminology. So, in integral waterproofing technology, we are adding certain things in the concrete, so that the porosity of the concrete will become less and the density of the concrete increases, and because of that phenomenon, the concrete will become more waterproof. And there is third type of waterproofing, which is called the type C waterproofing, which is called the drained or protection waterproofing. In this waterproofing, we can take care of the drainage of the existing water ingress, and we can take care of the joints also by providing different uh, uh, construction joint treatments we will discuss. Okay. So entire building structure waterproofing always based upon type A and type B. Type C is taken care of only in case of high water retaining structures. Otherwise, type A, type B is the major requirement. Okay. Here in my previous slide, where I was showing you the mechanism, here I have mentioned type B. Type B stands for the pore blocking mechanism, where the integral waterproofing comes into the picture, and type A, where we are talking all about the surface sealing mechanism, where we called it as a barrier protections. Okay. So before discussing type A and type B, it is very important for us to talk the type C first, to understand the subject first. Let's discuss type C first, because it is a very small thing. So let me finish type C first. So this type C kind of waterproofing is called the barrier protections. So in this barrier protections, we can take care of all the construction joints, and the we take care of the water, how it will be discharged properly, so that it will not affect the other structures. See, water is a very innocent guy, but it will be dangerous if it will not get its path to comes out. Okay, so if we will provide a certain path for the water to come out, it will not it will not affect the other areas. Okay, so this is the main reason where we have to take care of this water type C barrier. Now in barrier protection, what are the technology we are following up? First technology is the PVC, which is called the PVC water stoppers technology. In the PVC water stopper technology, we are using a PVC water stoppers in the construction joints where we are making of any kind of big buildings having high water table area or any underground structures or any water tank or any water retaining structures. Then in these conditions we can use this kind of PVC water stopper. We are offering for a building structures as per BS 8102. There we can see that there are three types of waterproofing systems we are offering nowadays to make a waterproof structures. One is the type A, where in type A systems we are providing basically a complete barrier to for the structure so that the water will not allowed to enter into the concrete structures. Like as I shown you in this red line area, this is a barrier we have mentioned in this in this foundation, so that water will be restricted to entering into the concrete area. Okay, this is called the barrier protection. So all the surface sealing mechanism is based upon this barrier protections. Okay, so we will discuss in detail. Now, if we are talking about the type B waterproofing, where we are adding certain chemicals, certain integral waterproofing compounds to the concrete structure, so that the porosity of the concrete minimizes and the density of the concrete increases, which will leads the poor penetration of the water inside the concrete structures. So all kind of integral waterproofing compound or pore blocking are worked in this pore blocking mechanism. Okay, now there are third type of mechanism is there where it is neither subjected to type B or neither subjected to type A, because this is not the exact waterproofing, but these are the preventions or the stoppage of the water, or provide a passage for the water to come out. Okay, like we are providing providing certain barriers in the construction joints where water is penetrating through these construction joints, or we are providing certain passages through any channel so that water will be passed through so that it will not affect the structures. So let's discuss this type C waterproofing first, because it is a very small subject. Then in detail we will discuss about the type B system and type A system. Okay, now, if we will talk about this barrier protections type C system as per 8102, then first systems is comes into the picture is the PVC, where PVC is the polyvinyl chloride, where we are using PVC water stoppers in the construction joints or expansion joints or any joint area of the structures to prevent that joint area from any kind of water ingress, or to make the water completely tight. We can use different varieties of PVC water stoppers are there. I will show you the pictures in my further slides. Then swellable type waterproofing area. See, there are certain drawbacks of these PVC water stoppers. Because of that reason, we can use some swellable type. The swellable type waterproofing systems is basically it is a 10 centimeter by sorry 10 mm by 10 mm or 20 mm by 20 mm dimension is there. So when we will place this kind of system in the construction joint, and when it comes into the contact of with water, it swells and it minimizes the gap, so that water will be blocked over there, so it will provide a completely barrier system. Another barrier technology which is very popular nowadays, it is very advanced technology which is called the injection systems. And some injection systems we are doing as a barrier. We can talk as a, actually this injection system is does not, because some injection systems are there which works as a pore blocking mechanism. But here the injection system what I am talking, it is basically for the barrier protections, which is a very latest technology. I will show you how this injection systems works as a barrier system, so to prevent the water leakages through any kind of joints. Then another system is there which is called the drainage board. So in through this drainage board we are allowing the water to flow through that drainage board through a channel, and it will be provided a dedicated route for the water to move on, so that water will get a chance, so that will flow regularly, so that it will not affect the concrete structure, so our concrete structure will become safe. Now let's discuss each and individual system about PVC, soluble and injection system, and the drainage board in detail. Now here the picture, this kind of system, this is the example of PVC water stoppers. Most of technocrats knows very well, because it's a very age old technology we are using nowadays to make our structure as a barrier waterproofing system. Now the installation procedure of these PVC water stoppers is like this. Half of the portion will be casted with the previous cast, and the second part of the PVC water stoppers will be casted with the next layer. So this is the way, and because of this long path and this corrugated path, so because of this long path, water will not possible to penetrate through all these contours, and covers all the contours and make the joint happen. The advanced system is the this kind of soluble water bar, where this kind of soluble bars are being used, where it is only placed by using adhesives or by making groups, and when it will, and the second lift of the concrete been casted, so that in this in between joints it will be completely embedded. And when the water enters in future, wherever there will be any weaker section of any joint, and the water enters through that joint, and when it comes into the contact of all these water stoppers, then it swells. And when it swells up to its 30% to 40%. It has got a very controlled expansion during the 42 hours to 72 hours time. So when it swells, so it minimizes the shrinkage gap occurs because of the concrete shrinkage and all this. But the advanced technology is this is called the barrier technology. In this barrier technology, we can provide a curtain behind the concrete structures, like this. You can see these balls. So this is a very latest technology. Only a certain kind of soluble acrylic gels are basically recommended for this kind of technology. And this kind of technology, you can say they are all hydrostructure resins. So it is they absorb water and they swells from its original dimension. It's not like few foam. It provides a very non-porous swellability nature, like this swellable bars and all this provides. And these are the examples of drainage boards, where we are allowing this water to comes into the drainage board, and it provide a particular passage all the water to flow, so that this water will not affect the existing structure. Now this is the injection technology, what I was trying to explain you for as a barrier protections. For this kind of technology, you can see if there will be any failure. These are the example of different category of PVC water stoppers for different joints. And in certain cases we can see that there will be the failure of the this PVC water stoppers also. So to identify this gap, and to prevent these joints from any kind of water ingress in case of failure of the PVC water stoppers. So we can do the injections, and we can provide a barrier of by using this kind of hydrostructure resins, or by help of this soluble acrylic resin, so that the entire structures can be sealed, and the joints will be taken care of with respecting all its movement accommodations. Then another type of barrier system, which was very ancient days it was used, but nowadays its usage is very minimized because of its some drawbacks and all these things. They are called the pre-injections, by providing some pre-injection source. So in through the construction joints, they were providing certain kind of pipes. These are called the pre-injection pipes, and where it has got a different kind of small holes, and there they inject certain kind of water based methyl methacrylate based gels, or methyl methacrylate based resins, so that all the these construction joints where there will be the leakages, it can taken care of, and they can seal the entire part. And this methyl methacrylate, it is soluble in nature and very water miscible, and it can take care of the construction joints. Now let's talk about the main subject of the waterproofing where we are here. Basically they are let's start from the pore blocking mechanism. Okay, now if we are talking about the pore blocking mechanism, as I told you, it conforms to the type B type of waterproofing as per BS 8102. And in this waterproofing there are various technologies are available where we are minimizing the porosity of the concrete. Now you just imagine, if suppose in the concrete there is certain porosity, and if we by any mean if we can minimizes the pore, definitely it will not allow the water to go through and through the concrete structures, and our concrete became highly waterproof. So to overcome this particular things, we can go through this kind of different waterproofing systems. So so our first waterproofing system is called the integral waterproofing system. So in the integral waterproofing system, there are two varieties. One is the liquid integral waterproofing compound, one is a powder-based integral waterproofing compound. Nowadays, our Bureau of Indian Standard, it has specified this integral waterproofing compound in IS 2645 2645. Okay, and this kind of integral waterproofing compound, they minimizes the porosity up to 8% to 10%. In certain extent it can goes to the 15% also. Okay, now, if we will talk about the advanced technology to minimize the porosity, there are certain admixtures are available, including chemical admixtures. In chemical admixture, there are varieties of admixtures are also there, which is called the water reducers. Basically, sulfonated naphthyl formaldehyde based admixtures are there, which is called SNF or SMF, sulfonated melamine based formaldehyde. And another which is a lattice admixture, which is called the PCE based admixtures, which can able to reduce the water cement ratio or the porosity of the cement up to 30 to 35%. So this is also one kind of technology. Another is there, this is called the mineral based admixtures. In the mineral based admixture, there are two varieties of mineral admixtures are there. One is the crystalline based admixture, where we are adding this crystalline based admixture maximum doses up to 1% to 2%. And in case of cementitious mineral admixtures, it varies from the company to company and type to type, but maximum it goes up to 30%, 40% also, depending upon the requirement. All kind of siliceous compound like GGBS or fly ash, or you can say cementitious based mineral admixture is also now available in the market for the high performance concrete and the high strength concrete, to increase the strength, where it takes the participates for the third heat of hydration. Okay, now for this kind of there is a very advanced technology which nowadays every construction chemical manufacturer or every consultants they are recommending, that is called the injection waterproofing. So this injection waterproofing, there are either they can use any kind of cementitious based injections, or they can use any kind of resin based injections. In the resin based injections, the basic very popular material which nowadays everybody is using, one is the epoxy, one is polyurethane, then methyl methacrylates, then acrylic gels, then silicone injections. Then there are certain silicons, basically they are called organomineral injections, where we are giving injections for the soil or any kind of concrete structures to make it stabilize completely. The basic objective of all these waterproofing systems is to minimize the porosity of the concrete, so that concrete will become the waterproof. Now, there are certain integral waterproofing systems where they in the market are available, where which is conforms to the IS 2645, and you can inject it, and you can mix it into the concrete, and you can get all the things done. You can minimizes the capillary pores, and you can minimize the porosity, and you can make your job done. Now let's come to the main cream of the subject, which is called the surface sealing mechanism. And this surface sealing mechanism, we can divide the surface sealing mechanism into two parts. One is the membrane systems, one is the liquid applied membrane system. Okay. Now let's discuss each and individual chapter in detail. Now, here we are talking about the barrier protections. let's talk about the membrane waterproofing. Generally, for the building structures, starting from the small buildings to the high-rise building, if you are talking any kind of good quality waterproofing from the different soil category or different foundation category or in different water table category, every engineers prefers to use membrane waterproofing for the basement work basically. So in the membrane systems, what are the technology nowadays is widely used? One is the PVC technology. There are PVC membranes. In the PVC membranes, there it is basically a loosely laid systems. We will discuss. I will show you some photographs also. And there are some TPO membrane. TPO basically they are good in UV resistance, whereas PVC is not good in UV resistance. And TP and but in PVC and TPO the difference is TPO is more is a green product. So if the building is subjected to any kind of green category, then definitely they should recommend TPO membrane. TPO stands for the thermopolyolefin. And there are two varieties of TPO membranes are available into the market. One is the reinforced TPO membrane and one is the non-reinforced TPO membrane. So where your structure is subjected to heavy tensile force, then in that conditions you can use reinforced based TPO membrane. And where the structure is subjected to not tensile force, so only you need to TPO membrane for the waterproofing purpose only. Then in that conditions you can use non-reinforced based TPO membrane. This TPO membrane is always subjected to the it is see like PVC membrane, it is always subjected to the loosely laid system, but TPO it has got various options. You can make it loosely laid options, you can make it fully adhesive system, so that there will be, because in certain cases TPO is always recommended because of its UV stability issue, UV stability plus point. It is recommended for the exposed conditions also. So where there will be any exposed conditions, in that conditions you can go for the fully bonded systems. And there are certain systems are also available which is called the SBS systems. It is a self-adhesive system. Basically, they are exposed for any kind of basement waterproofing or exposed area waterproofing kind of thing. And APP is very popularly in India, atactic polypropylene systems, where it available in 3 mm, 4 mm kind of thickness. And this APP atactic polypropylene system is available into two types. One is the single reinforcement type and one is the double reinforcement type. Another very popular membrane system is called the EPDM. EPDM stands for the ethylene propylene diene monomer system. So where it is hardly it is 1.5 mm to 2 mm thickness, and it has got a very good UV resistance properties, and it can be used for the basement. It can be used for the exposed areas also. And there are another popular membrane which is exclusively used, which is called the SDP membrane. There are three types of SDP membrane, high density polyethylene membranes. One is called the chemically bonded systems, one is called the mechanically bonded systems, one is called the splicing splice self-adhesive kind of systems are also available. Okay. Now the objective of all this membrane system is to provide a barriers on the positive side of the structure so that it prevents the water to penetrate. Now let's have a quick look of all these systems. Now in case of any kind of SDP or LDP based system which is subjected to any kind of mechanical bonded, there are certain advantages and there are some disadvantages are there in different membrane system. This is a basically example of a mechanically bonded system. In this kind of mechanically bonded system PVC, this kind of mesh is already provided into the membrane, where the concrete will be adhered to this particular mechanically shell, and it will be completely stick. And because of these things, if there will be any kind of soil consolidation occurs in the foundations, it will not sag. It will be completely intact with the concrete structures, which is a very positive thing. And the another plus point of this kind of mechanically bonded system is you can use this kind of membrane systems in case of confined areas where where the approaches of the positive side is not possible during the construction and all these things, because in Mumbai kind of areas, if you will go through it is very constrained area, so it is very difficult to do the positive side waterproofing. So in that conditions, this kind of waterproofing is very good, gives good result. Now, this is the example of PVC or a TPO membrane waterproofing. So it can be used by using loosely laid, or you can use it by fully bonded systems for TPO case. But the application procedure for the PVC and TPO is very much same, and they are basically these two different membranes is been welded properly. By welding systems they can do, and for the vertical applications this kind of rounders is been used to prevent to hold the system completely. But if you will recommend this kind of PVC systems in the basement kind of things, then compartmentalization by help of this kind of PVC water stoppers are very much necessary. Unless until you will do this kind of compartmentalization for the high water table area, it will lead for the water leakages through and through the basement. Now, this is the welding procedure for the two different joints, because as I told you that for any waterproofing systems, termination is very important. So, if there will be, if you are talking about the membrane system, for any membrane system, the joints are very important because they are the weakest area. So, in case of PVC and TPO, it is completely welded by help of this welding gun. And you can do the check also. There are various checking mechanisms also available. Because of the time constraints, I am not going in detail. Otherwise I can show you the videos what how this checking been done. But there are various methods are available, but it is a very effective system, and the overlapping between these two membrane is approximately 50 mm, you can say 50 mm to 75 mm, basically depending upon the type of structures they can go. These are the welding machines for the small applications. These are the hand welding machines you can use, and for the minimum for the basements and for the larger areas, this kind of automatic welding machines you can use. And if there will be the high water table area, if there will be the high water table area is there, or if you are doing waterproofing for a heavy water retaining structures, then for that kind of area you can go for the double weld machine, so that it will weld the joint two times, so that there will be the double welding machine will be there. Now, if we will talk about the if we will apply this particular membrane for the exposed areas and all these things, for see here I am showing you the overlapping minimum 50 mm. And if you would like to go for the anchoring kind of things for the exposed area to prevent it from any kind of wind in case of TPO, there you can terminations will should be like this. And after application, after these terminations, you can weld here. These are the welding areas. Here these are the welding areas. So more detailing depending upon the side to side, all the detailings can be designed. This is just the example, but from side to side we can design it in details. These are the application of EPDM membranes. So in EPDM membrane, it is completely people prefer to use the EPDM membrane fully bonded systems, and where they are using adhesives basically to because it is a membrane where it should not be they don't people don't prefer to use it as a loosely laid, because it always exposed to the sun. So that's why if you would like to the fully bonded system, then two types of adhesive basically nowadays it has been used. To one is the bonding adhesive to make for the better bonding of the EPDM with the concrete substrate, and another adhesive they are basically using, which is called the splicing adhesive. And this adhesive basically they are recommending to for the overlapping sections of between the two membranes. So these are the systems we are recommending for the exposed areas where EPDM membrane is being applied. Now, this is the system of APP membrane. In APP membrane, basically, this is the structure of an APP membrane, and it is one APP membrane is subjected to different kind of layers. So, in first layer, it is the APP polypropylene membrane. It is there, and over that you can go for the mineral substrate, or there will be sand finish, or it will be plain finish kind of thing. And there will be the reinforcement, and the reinforcement it should be maximum 120 GSM to 150 GSM. There are various type of reinforcements are available for the APP system, glass fiber reinforcement or polypropylene fiber reinforcement, anything you can go. And then there will be in the bottom part of this there will be thermal fusion film, where people uses torches to burn that film, so that it will be sticked completely with this bitumen based primers. And before applications, these bitumen based primers will be applied, so that it will be completely bonded with this bitumen based primers. Now, if we will talk about the surface sealing mechanism, which is called the liquid applied membranes. Basically, this kind of surface sealing mechanisms are highly popular for any kind of superstructure waterproofing. All the membrane waterproofing are basically recommended for the soft structure waterproofing, and for the superstructure waterproofing, we are all using surface sealing. Surface sealing. So let's talk about the liquid applied membranes. So for the recular membrane system, very popular system nowadays, which has every construction chemical manufacturers are dealing. This is called the polymer modified cementitious coating. Another system basically is called the acrylic coatings, and there are few coatings are there. In few coating, there are two varieties of few coatings are available. One is the polymer pitch modified, and one is the pitch free. And there are polyurea systems are there for liquid applied membrane waterproofing, and there will be bituminous based coating is there, and there are crystalline based coatings are there. Okay, so these kind of systems are already are available. So, what are the expectations from this liquid applied waterproofing we should have as a technocrats? That any kind of liquid applied membrane waterproofing, it should have good carbon dioxide resistance, so that it minimizes the carbonation effect, and it should be breathable. This is the carbonation resistance, which minimizes the carbonation resistance, and it should be breathable, so that the durability of the coating, the durability of the membrane will be more, and because of its breathability in nature, the bond strength between the concrete and the membrane will be intact, and it increases durability. And it should have good crack bracing ability, so that there should not be any crack, so that the durability of the membrane increases. It should have good water resistance properties, and definitely it should have good UV resistance properties if that membrane is subjected to UV resistance. This is the example of some crystalline based system, basically, where we are recommending for the systems. These are the microscopic view of a crystalline system, where it is been designed that the crystals, when the crystals are comes into the contact of any kind of free lime and water, it forms these kind of crystals, and it penetrates into the porosity of the concrete, and it minimizes the crystals. So like this, you can see these are the porosity, and when these crystals are comes into the contact with water, it makes crystal, and it makes the entire structure completely surface sealing. So this crystalline structure acts like a surface sealing mechanism also, but its main objective is to minimizes the porosity by filling all the pores, surface pores by help of these crystals. And it is always very effective if you will use crystals by using this kind of brush instead of any kind of paint brush. This is the example of exposed pitch free or acrylic coating systems, which are very good in UV resistance product. Maybe in this category you can get any kind of PU coating, you can get all kind of acrylic coatings in this category. So where it can, you can recommend it in 2 or 3 layer systems, and where it is subjected to good flexibility, it is subjected to good UV resistance properties, and it can able to take the normal foot traffic also. But if your surface is subjected to do high mechanical loads and high mechanical abrasions, then this kind of coating should not be recommended. Now there are another system is available, including the waterproofing, which is called the heat insulation coating, which is a very popular system. And the heat insulation coating, the structure is filled with this kind of microspheres, and this kind of microspheres, so when it is subjected to this kind of coating, it reflects the heat, so that it minimizes the heat up to very good standard. You can see this example. This is the real photographs basically I have taken during my previous companies, where I used to do the demo of this particular coating. You can see the minimization of the temperature during 12:50 a.m. in the morning time, where the non-coated area is provide you the temperature of 52.1 degrees Celsius. After application of the coating, it gives you the 40 degrees Celsius temperature in the same surface, in the same area, in the approximately in the same time. Now there are some pitch modified coatings and some bituminous coating, and they are not good in UV resistance, and you can still recommend this kind of coating, but subjected that it should be covered by a particular screed. so that because of the UV it will not degrade its physical properties. But application procedure for all the systems are same, and this is very popular system nowadays. Every construction company is using, which is called the polymer modified cementitious coating. It's available into two parts: one is a liquid polymer and one is a powder component. So when this liquid polymer and the powder component will mix together, it makes a slurry, and it make after doing the applications, when this film will be formed, and this kind of flexible film it will form. So it is also flexible. It can able to provide 1 mm to 2 mm thickness, subjected to type of material you are using, and this flexibility is very high, and it can able to do the crack bracing up to 1 mm of this kind of application. Now, this is the way you can use this polymer modified cementitious coating application. This is the after mixing this powder with liquid, it looks like this, and once you will apply it by brush, it can spread all over area, and you can take care of all the joints by applying proper joint treatment methodology, and you can get an unbreakable film over there, so that you can get the best benefit out of it. But the only drawback is you cannot keep it exposed for the longer period. It is not good in mechanical resistance, so it is always preferable to use a speed over that particular kind of coating, and you can go for the other things. Then the another technology is the polyurea technology. This polyurea technology, basically it is a very advanced technology nowadays. We can use, and if you will ask me what is the best what is the setting time of this polyurea, I will say it is just 15 second to 20 second. So it basically the major part is of this particular is these are the machines. So this is a spray gun, and it is so precious that it is this polyurea coating is very precious, and it is a two component system, and it is heated up to 85 degrees Celsius to Celsius before mixing, and it mixes in the nodules. Once component A and component B mixes, and it sets immediately. Okay, so it is a very good latest technology you can use, and it has got good UV resistance properties. Now there are different type of polyureas available: pure polyurea, hybrid polyurea. So you can use any kind of detail. I am not going into detail. It is a very big subject. We can discuss on this. So finally, these are the entire systems we are talking. Now, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion of all these things? Now, if we would like to go for a foolproof waterproofing systems, first important parameter we have to consider is the coordination. The coordination between the architect, the coordination between a waterproofing expert, the coordination between a contractor. Always where there is it is we are talking about the foolproof waterproofing systems, always we should take care of the waterproofing contractor, and the thought and the technology, regarding on the technology, regarding on the termination part, regarding the waterproofing quality. This coordination is very important. Then compatibility is also very important concern to consider, that we should collect waterproofing material from a very ideally source. We should not go run behind any kind of local dealers or any kind of local products, because lots of peoples will they are in the market, those who are will tell you that you just take our product, it will give you 15 years of warranty, 20 years of warranty, 25 years warranty. Don't go by that, because every product is good, but unless until it will be compatible for your requirement, it will not work. Then the continuity. Waterproofing system should always should be in an envelope system. It should not be a partial system. If there will be any water leakages in the unit roof, you should do the waterproofing of entire roof, not the particular area where your water is leaking. And always we should provide the combination systems, because a single system will not work everywhere and everywhere of the structure. So for different structural applications, for different systems, we should go for a single waterproofing solution. We cannot use for entire building, so we have to take care of this. So this is all about I would like to say. Now if there will be any questions, then we can discuss.
Sir, we because of limitations, we have already exceeded our time. We'll just take two questions.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll just
Fine.
ask you right now on this. So, one second. Um, Some one person, Mr. Karthik Chandra, is asking, why should
Hmm.
we waterproof the septic tank?
Okay,
He's
here's a good
asking about.
question. Yeah. Okay. See, it is very necessary to do the waterproofing of a septic tank. Is basically in the septic tank, it is subjected to all the contaminated water, and from the septic tank, sometimes it goes to the water treatment plant also, and for the sewage treatment plant also. So if we will not waterproof the septic tank properly, there are two possibilities. First thing is that because of that contamination water, if it will be comes into the contact of the soil, then definitely the soil will be contaminated, and it may make the area completely toxic. And second thing is that and if the outside water enters into the septic tank, then definitely the tank will be deteriorated completely, and for the long run it will not provide you the full service. So that's why the septic tank waterproofing is a very special subject, and for high big projects and or big residential projects where we are doing the job, care of septic tank is very necessary.
Yeah, Mr. Roy Thomas is asking, what are the best methods you recommend for terrace waterproofing for individual homes in high rainy zones, in heavy monsoon zones?
Always I will prefer for the high rainy zone. So here the terrace is subjected to heavy rain and a heavy foot traffic, and for the durability purpose, always I will prefer 2 to 3 systems waterproofing. First system, in your mother concrete, go for the application of one coat of crystalline coating, and over that you can go for a this any you can go for any kind of waterproof coating. Over that you can go for a screed with sufficient slope, and over that you can go for the tiles, or you can go for any suitable tiles you can lay by using fixing waterproof tile fixing adhesives. And joint all the tile joints should be covered with all good quality of tile grout, so that this three layer system, one layer system of defense of waterproofing is this tile grout, and second layer of defense is this tile water based tile adhesives, and third layer of system is this screed, and the fourth layer of system is the waterproof coating. So in this way you can get a best waterproofing if you would like to do, and it will be continue for a very longer period and in a very economic time. Economically it also very pocket friendly.
Yes, sir. Sir, we won't be able to take more questions right now. Yeah, you could
Sure.
just share your email ID from the last slide, and so if
Yeah.
anybody wants to write, some engineers can write to you.
Yes. You can note down this email ID. Thank you to all of you for your patience hearing, and take care.